You know, it's funny. We talk about self-care all the time,
Yeah.
but it always seems to be the first thing to go when we get busy.
Right.
Especially, I feel like, for women.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much pressure to be everything to everyone. And we end up putting everyone else's needs ahead of our own.
It's true. It's like we're conditioned to put ourselves last.
Yeah, and we think it's like noble or something.
It's like a badge of honor to be completely selfless.
But then we wonder why we're exhausted and burnt out all the time.
Exactly. It's not sustainable in the long run.
No, it's not. So
Yeah.
I think it's time to reframe how we think about self-care.
I agree.
It's not selfish, it's essential.
It really is. It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup,
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
right? If we're not taking care of ourselves, we have nothing left to give to others.
And think about it. When you're feeling good and taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
you're actually a better mom, a better partner, a better friend, a better everything.
Absolutely. You show up differently for the people you care about.
And you know, one of the biggest things that gets in the way of self-care
Yeah.
is that dreaded word, no.
That's so hard to say, isn't it?
It is. Especially for women, we feel like we have to say yes to everything.
Right. We don't want to let anyone down.
But sometimes saying yes to everyone else means saying no to ourselves.
Exactly. And that's where those feelings of resentment and overwhelm come in.
So how do we get better at saying no? Any tips?
Well, first we need to reframe it in our minds.
Yeah.
Saying no isn't about letting people down.
Right.
It's about protecting our time and energy.
Like setting boundaries.
Exactly. What if, before you automatically say yes, you paused and asked yourself a couple of questions?
Okay, I like this.
Does this energize me? Do I even have the capacity for this right now?
Those are good ones.
And if the answer is no, then it's perfectly okay to politely decline.
I think that shift in thinking is so important. It takes the guilt out of it.
Exactly. It's about honoring our own needs.
Okay, so we're getting better at saying no. What else can we do?
Well, sometimes self-care can feel like this huge, overwhelming thing.
Yeah, like I need a week-long vacation to even make a dent.
Right. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can incorporate little moments of joy into our everyday lives.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so think about things that bring you joy, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Okay.
It could be taking 10 minutes to stretch when you wake up,
Okay.
or enjoying a cup of tea without distractions, or going for a walk during your lunch break instead of eating at your desk.
I like that. Those are all things I could actually do.
Exactly, and they don't require a lot of time or money.
So it's about being intentional, right?
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices that nourish our minds and bodies.
Even in the midst of our busy lives.
Exactly. Self-care is a practice, not a destination.
So true. Of everything we've talked about so far, what stands out to you as being really helpful?
Well, I think a lot of people struggle with this idea of rest.
Oh,
We live in a culture that glorifies busyness.
Always got to be hustling, right?
Right, and we feel guilty if we're not constantly doing something productive.
It's hard to just be.
It is, but our brains actually need downtime to function optimally.
Really?
Yeah, when we're constantly bombarded with information and demands, our brains get fatigued.
Like a muscle that's been overworked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it needs time to recover and rebuild.
Okay, so how do we give our brains that downtime?
Sometimes it's as simple as sitting down, closing your eyes, and just being present.
Even for a few minutes?
Even for 5 minutes. It can make a world of difference.
I have to admit, this one's hard for me. I always feel like I should be doing something.
I know what you mean. But
Okay.
trust me, giving yourself permission to do nothing can be incredibly restorative.
Maybe I'll give it a try. What does the science say about rest?
Well, studies have shown that even a few minutes of quiet, mindful breathing can help reduce stress, improve focus, and boost our mood.
So it's not just about feeling better.
It's about improving our cognitive function.
I like that essential energy recalibration.
I love that. You should totally use that.
I think I will. Next time someone gives me a hard time about taking a break, I'm going to be like, I'm recalibrating.
Perfect. It's all about reframing it. Right.
Right. So rest is important. Saying no is important. What else?
Well, this one might sound a little cheesy, but it's important to treat yourself like you would your best friend.
Okay, explain that one.
Think about it. Would you let your best friend skip meals, run on fumes, and neglect her well-being?
Probably not.
But we do it to ourselves all the time.
That is so true. I'm totally guilty of
We
it.
hold ourselves to this different standard. It's like we think we have to be superhuman.
But we're not.
No, we're not. So what would you advise your best friend to do for self-care?
I'd tell her to prioritize things that bring her joy. And to not feel guilty about taking time for herself.
Exactly. Now, how can you apply that same advice to yourself?
Wow, that's a good question. I think I'm starting to get it.
That's great. Self-care isn't about perfection. It's about progress.
And it's about those small, sustainable changes that add up over time.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a destination. And it looks different for everyone.
Right. Like there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. So how do we figure out what works best for us?
Yeah, that's a good question because it feels like there's so much information out there about self-care.
There is. It can be overwhelming.
Totally. Like, do I need to do yoga every morning and meditate and journal and eat all organic? And
Right. It's easy to get caught up in all the trends and fads.
Yeah. So how do we cut through all the noise and find what actually works for us?
I think the key is to listen to your own body and intuition.
So it's more about tuning into our own inner wisdom than following some external prescription.
Exactly. What feels good for you? What makes you feel energized and alive?
Okay, I like that. So maybe it's not about doing all the things, it's about finding the things that actually resonate with me.
Great. Maybe you thrive on early morning workouts, or perhaps a quiet evening bath is more your style.
Maybe it's spending time in nature or getting lost in a good book.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer.
This reminds me of something we talked about earlier. Massage.
Oh, yeah.
I know for me, a good massage can totally melt away stress and tension.
It's amazing how powerful touch can be.
Right. And it's not just about pampering ourselves. It's about actually taking care of our physical and mental well-being.
Exactly. Massage can help release built-up tension, improve circulation, and promote relaxation.
And in a world that's increasingly digital and disconnected, I think we all crave that human connection.
Absolutely. And what's really cool is that now, with services like Blys.
Blys?
Yeah, Blys. It's like, you can have a massage therapist come to your home.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's super convenient. You don't have to commute to a spa or try to squeeze an appointment into your busy schedule.
That's a game changer for me. I'm always so busy.
Right. So Blys makes it easy to prioritize self-care.
Like having a personal oasis delivered right to your doorstep.
Exactly. And it's not just about luxury. It's about investing in your health and well-being.
I love that. It's about making self-care accessible and sustainable.
Exactly. So that it becomes an integral part of our lives rather than an afterthought.
Okay, I am definitely checking out Blys.
Mm.
This has been such a great conversation.
Yeah,
I feel like we've covered so much ground already.
Me too. And it's only part 2.
I know. I'm excited to keep talking about all this in part 3.
Me too.
Ooh.
So to everyone listening, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Yeah, it really is a shift in thinking, isn't it?
It is. It's like we're giving ourselves permission to prioritize our well-being.
And it's not just about us either.
Right.
When we take care of ourselves, we're actually better able to take care of the people we love.
Exactly like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, when we're feeling run down and burnt out,
Yeah.
we just can't show up as our best selves for anyone.
It's like that saying again, you can't pour from an empty cup.
So true. So we've talked about a lot of different ways to replenish our cups.
We have.
Saying no, prioritizing rest, find those little moments of joy, and even massage.
It's all connected, isn't it?
It is. What's been resonating most with you?
You know, I think what I keep coming back to is that self-care doesn't have to be this big, elaborate thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a spa day or a vacation.
Exactly. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes to breathe deeply.
Or listening to your favorite music.
Or spending time in nature.
It's about finding those little things that bring you joy and making them a regular part of your life.
Exactly. Weaving them into the fabric of your day.
And being kind to ourselves along the way.
Yes. Remembering that we're worthy of care and attention.
You know, something else just occurred to me.
What's that?
Sometimes self-care is also about recognizing our limits
Oh, yeah.
and not being afraid to ask for help when we need it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
We often try to do it all ourselves.
Like we have to be superwomen.
Right. But we're not meant to go through life alone.
Like sometimes asking for help is the best form of self-care.
It is. It creates space for others to show up for us.
And that in turn can create a ripple effect of well-being.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected.
So as we wrap up this conversation about self-care, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I'd say view self-care as an investment.
Okay, I like that.
An investment in your health, your happiness, your overall well-being.
It's an investment that pays off in every area of your life.
It does.
Well said.
Yeah.
So to everyone listening out there,
Yes.
go make yourself a priority.
You deserve it.
Embrace the power of self-care.
It can change your life.
It really can. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.